But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
I think Tim Walz is a really good candidate for Donald Trump. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Y'all get the merch link in the description section. That's the way you can support the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel. The biggest thing I want you to do is hit the like button. That gives us a little momentum. You can do comments as well. Argue with some people in the comments that'll give us a little bit more momentum as well. Anyway, let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Walz was selected as the VP for Kamala Harris. What I will say, I'll just pop him up on the screen. They just replaced the old white man with another old white man. All that hype and talk about a younger presidential candidate, you just picked the old gray-haired man, and you picked a white man. Why you didn't pick a minority? Why you didn't pick a sister? Why you didn't pick another black man? See, and this is why I think that these people should wake up to what these Democrats are doing. None of these people are in charge. They have people that are running the country. They just need you ignorant black women, because that's who they targeting. Black men ain't falling for it, to vote for Kamala, who ain't even black. She's not an African-American. She's not an African-American, period. Her father's from Jamaica. Her mama's from India. Her dad is like part Jamaican and Indian. Jamaica is not American, right? Jamaica is not Africa. So she's not African-American, all right? But anyway, they're trying to trick y'all, but they still need the white man, because them Democrats really don't fool with y'all Negroes like that. Don't get it twisted. They need the white man on the card. They will never put two minorities on the card. I just want you to know that. And I'm not trying to make that a big deal. I just want y'all to be aware of that, because they virtue signal a lot. And Republicans ain't putting two black people on the card either. But at least the ones who virtue signal about it and want to push it all in your face, they got this dude on there, and Kamala Harris is married to a white man with white kids. All right, anyway, roll the clip. This is her candidate. I want to introduce you to her candidate, or her vice president. Roll the clip.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this. You stop it by having a legal system that allows for that tradition of allowing folks to come here, just like my relatives did, to come here, be able to work, and establish the American dream. Look, we produce most of the turkeys that you're going to eat in Thanksgiving. Those are immigrants working hard, establishing themselves here. What's he going to do? Is he going to take them all out?
It's done.
There's a difference between immigrants and illegal immigrants. They conflate it. I want you to be very clear about it.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
Should Minnesota be a sanctuary state?
If the definition of that is that the federal government enforces immigration law and local law enforcement enforces local law, then yes.
Should cities be allowed to be sanctuary cities?
Yes, local control.
We have guns on the streets that were meant for war.
A society that does not put equity and inclusion at the center of it is certainly going to eventually come to the places where we're at.
They went and picked the wokest old white man they could find. I think he is more woke than Joe Biden. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to finish playing this because he got a whole 3-minute highlight tape of him being stupid. Here's the thing, man. The fear that I have just a little bit is that if they do the little riggy this time around, they already got two progressive leftists that's going to run the country as if the people voted for them, which y'all know what I'm saying. You know, they'll be ready to kick me off here. So I don't know if they're installing these people into place to push the progressive agenda, or they really think that these people can actually win, which I do not think that whatsoever that America will elect these two left-wing idiots.
We're going to have to put policies in place that make sure we're attracting teachers of color so that students of color have someone that they understand, look like, think like, see like in front of them.
Because all black people think alike. How y'all vote for these people? God dang.
I've spent a lot of time with the president, and he's great. We're talking, we're chatting, and all this. And I think, we all get a little older. I think he's just doing what he does, and I think it's a kind of incumbent upon all of us. Look, my mom's 88, still living on the farm, drives herself. Folks are able to do this, so I think this little bit of ageism that goes to this, if it's not that, would be something else. They attack all of us on something. This is part of it.
There's something wrong with people when they talk about freedom to be in your bedroom, freedom to be in your exam room, freedom to tell your kids what they can read. That stuff is weird. They come across weird. They seem obsessed with this. They continue to try and tell you. And look, the thing that I find the most weird about it is they never do the things they say.
What I know is that people like J.D. Vance know nothing about small town America. My town had 400 people in it, 24 kids in my graduating class, 12 were cousins, and he gets it all wrong. That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale, and none of them went on to be venture capitalists or whatever. It's not who people really are.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute. There, that's better.
I'm all for pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. We didn't have any boots. Social Security was the boots, and we pulled ourselves up, and we paid that back. And I think J.D. Vance gets none of that. It's.
I see what they did. Donald Trump picked the hillbilly. I wouldn't say hillbilly. He wrote a book, Hillbillyology or something like that. But he picked a man who could speak to middle America, the people who are, blue-collar workers that are grinding every day, fingernails dirty, dirty boots, going and popping and knocking back a beer after a hard day of work. He's going after those people. So they try to pick their version of that. They try to pick their version of the guy in Minnesota. We picked the guy from Ohio. They picked the guy from Minnesota. I see what they did. So he's going to try to push it over. You know how weird this is? Donald Trump is an older man. Kamala is younger. J.D. Vance is younger. Tim Walz is older. It's almost like they just mix-matched the theology. They picked the old guy who's claiming to be for the working class people. We picked the young guy. And then for the president, we picked the oldest guy than Joe Biden. And they picked the youngest person they could have picked. I don't, if it's a fair election, I like my chances.
It's the aw shucks, I'm from here or whatever. So my hillbilly cousins did not go to Yale.
What is J.D. Vance? He claims to represent that. What is he missing about small town rural America, and what is he getting wrong as he talks about it out there?
Pretty much everything, and he profited off it. I'll start out with is he misreads this in Hillbilly Elegy about this some type of cultural angst or whatever. No, we're angry because robber barons like him gutted middle America. They took our jobs. And then they try and tell you that school vouchers are the thing to go on. I've just signed Executive Order 20-01 declaring a peacetime state of emergency for the state of Minnesota. We need to stop congregating. We're going to close the bars, we're going to close the restaurants, we're going to close the places where we gather. Several 100,000 of your neighbors were just laid off. An entire industry has been shut down in the face of this, all for the greater good.
The governor, with the power of the state constitution behind him, has issued 104 executive orders affecting everything from schools to restaurants and bars to churches to basically every facet of everyday life.
Democrats who control the House are moving in the opposite direction. Some are pushing to put a mask mandate in state law.
Hi ho the Dario, I wear a mask to school. It helps to keep me safe.
Explosive testimony from a Minneapolis police union official who says that the governor ordered cops to abandon that 3rd precinct during the spring's rioting.
I was in the command post. I heard it. I heard the governor say, give it up.
At 9:32, Chief Arredondo calls the mayor to tell him they've lost control, can no longer maintain order in the city. And then at 10:13, Chief Arredondo, who's monitoring the scene from a couple blocks away, gets on the radio to announce defeat.
Get a citywide tone right now in our loss of the 3rd precinct.
The 3rd precinct has been compromised.
The mayor said I request the National Guard. Ooh, this is great. We're going to have massively trained troops. No, you're going to have 19-year-olds who are cooks.
A little bit of his foolery. Listen, y'all, I want you to be very clear. If you never followed me before, you never watched my videos, and this is your first video, I want to be very clear. These people are left-wing extremists. This is not the Democrat Party of your grandfather and them. These are left-wing extremists. When they get into office, they're going to push all the leftist agendas that you can think about. They're going to push more virtue signaling than you can imagine. Now, I do acknowledge that the president does not have ultimate power, right? The House and Senate is very important, and if they, don't put bills on the desk or they prevent some of these bills from getting to his desk to sign, they don't have nothing to sign, right? And another thing somebody brought up earlier, I think it was Nassim Black. He lived in Israel, Orthodox Jew. Nassim mentioned that the Middle Eastern countries don't respect women. And I never thought of that until now, is that Kamala Harris is a danger to America's footprint across the world. And the radicalization of disrespect for women and not even acknowledging women whatsoever in the Middle Eastern countries, I think it gears up or conjures up this idea or this hatred towards America to engage in warfare with us. I just think they see women as weak, which, all right, let me just get off here before I get canceled. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the new VP pick. Do you think it's a good pick? Do you think it's a competitive pick? I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.